안녕하십니까? 쇄도잉 100일의 기적입니다. 큰 목소리로 따라하시는 것 잊지 마시고 지금부터 24일차 쇄도잉 시작하겠습니다.
One Introduction. My name is Georgia. This is my story. It is about my marriage. My marriage was built on a secret. It was a big secret that was hidden from me. I did not know about this truth for a long time. This story will tell you what I learned. It is a lesson about love. It is a lesson about trust. It is also about finding a life I did not know existed. This story starts with a big change. It was a shocking moment that changed everything for me. It is the beginning of understanding something important. I learned that a picture can look perfect from the outside, but sometimes this perfect picture hides a complex reality. Things are not always as simple as they seem. I thought my life was happy and secure. I thought my marriage was strong. I loved my husband, Kyle. We had a nice home and made plans for our future together. I trusted him completely and believed in our life. We met at a party. He was very charming and seemed like a good man. He made me feel special. We dated, and soon he asked me to marry him. It was a very happy time. We had a beautiful wedding when I was 24 years old. We bought a small house together. The first year of being married was good. We did normal things like cooking dinner and watching movies. Kyle worked hard at his job. He traveled sometimes for work, which he said was important for our future. I accepted this because I trusted him. I had no idea about the secret. I did not know the hidden truth was part of my life. This truth was like a shadow I could not see. Finding this truth was very painful and difficult. It changed everything I thought I knew. It changed how I saw the past. It changed how I saw my husband. It changed how I saw my whole life. This story is about that big change and what happened after. It is about finding strength when your world falls apart. It is about learning to trust again, but in a different way. It is my story of finding my path after a big lie. I want to share my experience. 2. Our new life. I met Kyle at a friend's party. He was older than me, maybe around 30 years old. He had a good job and a nice smile. When he looked at me, I felt special. He said many kind things and made me laugh a lot. I felt happy when I was with him. Our relationship moved quickly. It was a fast romance. We went on many dates. He took me to nice restaurants and often bought me beautiful flowers. He told me he loved me after a short time. I loved him too. I thought he was the perfect man for me, like from a dream. After about 6 months, Kyle asked me to marry him. It was a very romantic moment, and he gave me a beautiful ring. I said yes immediately. My family met Kyle and they liked him. My friends liked him too. Everyone said we were a good couple and looked happy together. We planned our wedding. It was a beautiful day. I wore a white dress and Kyle looked very handsome. We stood together and said our promises to each other. We promised to love and be true always. I believed him completely. We were so happy to start our life together. After the wedding, we bought a small, nice house. It was our first home together. The first year of our marriage was very good. We spent a lot of time together. We cooked dinner in our new kitchen and watched movies in the evenings. We were building our life, just the two of us. Kyle worked hard. He said his job was very important for our future. Sometimes he had to travel for work. He would be away for a few days. I understood this because his job helped us have our nice house and life. When he was home, we enjoyed being together. I felt safe and happy with Kyle. Our new life felt perfect, like everything I had ever wanted. We were husband and wife, building our future together in our home. This first year was full of happiness and feeling content with our new life. 3 small worries. After our first year, things began to change a little. Kyle's job seemed to need him more. His work trips were not just sometimes now, they were more often. And he stayed away for longer days. He told me it was for big projects. He said these projects were important to make more money for us. I understood that work could be busy. I tried to be supportive. But when he was home, he was different. He was often very tired. He seemed busy in his mind, even when he was sitting next to me. He spent a lot of time on his phone. Sometimes his phone rang late at night. When it did, he would get up and go into another room to talk. He said it was just work calls, important business. But his voice was quiet, sometimes soft, not his normal voice. Once, I saw a letter on his phone screen, the letter J. I asked him who it was. He said it was John from work. I wanted to believe him. He became more private. He kept his phone close. He did not talk about his day as much as he used to. He seemed to be thinking about something else, something far away. I asked him, "Kyle, is everything okay?" He always gave the same simple answer. "Yes, Georgia, I'm just tired from work." I started to feel lonely. Even when he was in the same house, he felt far away. The happy feeling from our first year slowly changed. A small, quiet worry started in my heart. It was like a small, gray cloud. It was not a big problem yet, but it was there, always. This feeling of unease grew slowly over time. It was hard to explain. Nothing was clearly wrong, but it did not feel completely right either. I tried to tell myself it was just work stress. I hoped things would go back to how they were before. But the trips continued, the late calls happened, and the distance between us felt a little bigger each time. My small worries were growing. I did not know then how big they would become. 4 big secrets. One weekend, Kyle said he had a work meeting. He told me he was going to a town called Northwood. He left the house like normal. A little later, my friend called me. She sounded surprised. She said, "Georgia, I think I saw Kyle today." I asked where. She said, "In Southbridge." Southbridge was a different town, quite far from Northwood. My friend said she saw him at a cafe with a woman. My heart started to beat very fast. I said, "No, that's not possible. He is in Northwood for work." But my friend was sure. She said it was Kyle. My friend's words stayed with me. I felt very scared. I didn't want to believe her, but I needed to know the truth. It was a difficult decision, but I felt I had to look into Kyle's private things. I went online and looked at our credit card bills. I saw many payments. They were for things in Southbridge. There were payments for restaurants and shops. I saw these payments for many months. Then, I found a small piece of paper in an old coat of Kyle's. It was a bill for flowers. The bill said the flowers were sent to a person named Jackie in Southbridge. The date on the flower bill was the same date as our wedding anniversary. My hands started shaking. I felt sick in my stomach. I remembered Kyle's phone. Once, I saw a name on it that started with J. He said it was John from work. But now, I thought of the name Jackie. I had to find out more about this Jackie. I went on social media. I searched for Jackie Southbridge. I found a profile. There were photos of a woman. And then I saw photos of her with Kyle. They looked happy together in the photos. In one picture, she was wearing a ring. It looked like a wedding ring. In another photo, they were standing outside a house. It looked like their house in Southbridge. I looked at the date on one photo. It was from just 3 months after Kyle and I got married. My body felt cold. I felt like I could not breathe. My husband, Kyle, the man I loved, had another wife. He didn't just have another woman, he had another life. A big secret life I knew nothing about. 5. The truth hurts. I waited for Kyle to come home. My heart felt heavy. I put the things I found on the kitchen table. The photos, the bills, the flower receipt, they were proof. Hard proof. Soon I heard his car. The door opened. He walked in. He looked tired like always now. Then he saw the table. He saw my face. My face was wet with tears, but hard. His eyes went to the table. His face changed. He looked surprised, then scared. He tried to smile a little. "Georgia, what is all this? What's wrong?" He tried to sound normal, but his voice was shaking a little. He took a step closer. "It's not what you think," he said quickly. I couldn't speak for a moment. My throat hurt. Then the words came out, loud and broken. "It is what I think, isn't it?" I pointed at the pictures of him and the woman. "Who is Jackie? Tell me the truth, Kyle, all of it." He looked down at the table. He looked at me. He looked away. He tried to speak again, but no sound came out. He seemed to shrink a little. I started to cry harder. Big, loud sobs. It felt like my chest would break open. "How could you?" I cried. "How could you do this?" To me, he finally spoke. His voice was low. He didn't look at me. "Yes," he said. "Yes, there is someone else." He stopped. I hit the table with my hand. "Someone else? She is your wife, isn't she? Her name is Jackie, and you married her. Tell me." He nodded slowly. "Yes," he said again. "She is my wife. I married her after I married you." He said he didn't know how it happened. He said he didn't know what to do. He even said he loved us both. When he said that, I felt a wave of hot anger wash over me. I didn't believe him for 1 second. It was a lie on top of a mountain of lies. My world broke into 1,000 pieces right there in the kitchen. The man I loved, my husband, was a stranger. My marriage, my life with him, was a terrible, painful lie. "Get out," I said. My voice was cold now and strong. "Get out of my house." He took a step towards me. His hand reached out, maybe to touch me, to say sorry again. "Georgia, please." I stepped back quickly. "Don't touch me," I shouted. The pain was too big. The anger was too strong. I couldn't look at him anymore. The truth hurt more than I thought possible. He stood there for a moment, then turned and walked slowly out of the door. 6. My next steps. The day after Kyle told me the truth was very difficult. My heart hurt a lot. I felt so sad and also very angry. I thought about everything. My life with Kyle, our home, the promises we made. It was all a lie because of him. But after the sadness, something else came. A strong feeling. I knew I could not just sit and cry. I needed to do something. I needed to understand what happened and what I could do now. I decided to find help. I knew I needed someone who understood the law. So I made a plan to see a lawyer. I wanted to know my rights. I wanted to know what options I had after finding out Kyle had another wife. Going to the lawyer's office felt strange. I had never needed a lawyer before. I showed her my marriage certificate from my wedding with Kyle. I told her about Kyle and the other woman, Jackie, and finding out they were also married. The lawyer listened carefully. She explained things to me in simple words. She said my marriage to Kyle was the first one. Because of this, my marriage was legal and real. She said Kyle marrying Jackie after me was not legal. She called this bigamy. She said bigamy is against the law. Kyle did something wrong in the eyes of the law. Learning this made me feel a little stronger. Kyle broke the law. He did not just break my heart. He built a life based on lies, and this was not right. I knew then what I had to do. My marriage to Kyle was broken forever. I could not stay with a man who lied so much and did such a terrible thing. I told the lawyer I wanted a divorce. I wanted to end my marriage to Kyle officially and legally. I also wanted justice. Kyle had hurt me deeply. He had taken years of my life and filled them with a lie. He used our money for his other life. I felt he needed to answer for this. I decided I would not let him hide what he did. I wanted things to be fair. Kyle found out I went to a lawyer. He was scared. He did not want people to know about the bigamy. He tried to offer me money to not tell anyone and to not go to court. But I said no. Money was not the most important thing. I wanted the truth to come out. I wanted justice for the deceit. My next step was clear. I would face this in court. 7. The court case. After I decided to go to court, Kyle was very scared. He did not want people to know his secret life. He called me many times. He asked me not to go to court. He offered me some money to stop. He wanted everything to be quiet and private, but I said no. My lawyer also said no. Going to court was important. It was the only way to get justice for what Kyle did. It was the only way to show the truth about his lies to me and to everyone. So, we went to court. It was a very difficult time for me. The court was a public place. Many people were there. They heard about my life, my marriage, and Kyle's big secret. It felt strange and sad to share such private and painful things with strangers. My lawyer helped me a lot. She was strong and kind. We worked together to get ready for the court case. We collected all the important papers and proof. We had my marriage certificate from my wedding with Kyle. This showed that I married him first, before anyone else. We had the photos of Kyle and Jackie together in the other town. These photos showed they had a life together. We had the bills and papers that showed Kyle used money from our life together for his other life with Jackie. In court, my lawyer and I showed all this proof to the judge. We explained how Kyle lied to me for a long time. We showed the dates of everything. It was very clear that my marriage was the first one and the only legal one. Kyle was there with his own lawyer. He looked nervous and unhappy. He did not say much himself. His lawyer tried to say that things were not so bad, but the proof against Kyle was very strong and clear. The judge listened carefully to everyone who spoke. The judge looked at all the papers, photos, and bills. Then, the judge made a decision. The judge said that my marriage to Kyle was valid. This means it was the real and legal marriage in the eyes of the law. The judge said that Kyle's second marriage to Jackie was not valid because he was already married to me. The judge said Kyle was wrong to do this and that he had deceived me. The judge also made a decision about money and things. Because Kyle lied and broke the law, the judge said I should get a large part of the money and things Kyle and I had together during our marriage. This included money that Kyle had tried to hide or give to Jackie. The court ruled in my favor. It was a long and emotional day in court, but in the end, the judge agreed with me and the truth. Justice was served. I felt very tired after the court case, but also a little bit stronger. The court case was finished now. I could finally start to build my new life after the lies. 8. A fresh start. After the court case, life changed a lot for Kyle. The truth about his 2 marriages was public. He lost a lot of money because of the court's decision. People in his town and at his job knew what he did. His good name was gone. His job was in danger too. Jackie also learned everything. She knew about my marriage and the court case. She found out that Kyle had lost almost everything. She decided to leave him. She said she could not stay with a man who lied so much and had no money left. So Kyle was left alone. He had no wives, no money, and a very bad reputation. For me, it was a different kind of change. I had the money from the court settlement. The first thing I did was sell the house that Kyle and I bought together. It was a nice house, but it had too many sad and difficult memories for me. Selling it felt like closing a door on the past. With the money, I could really start a new life. It was not easy at the beginning. My heart still felt hurt from all the lies and the pain. It takes a long time to heal after something like that. But slowly, day by day, I started to feel better. I focused on myself and what I wanted. I decided to use the money to do something new. I thought about starting a small business or maybe going back to school to learn something different. I was free to choose my own path now. I did not need to worry about Kyle or his secrets anymore. I learned how strong I could be. I went through a very difficult time, but I survived. I learned that I can trust myself. I don't need a man to make me happy or to give me a life. I can build my own life, a life that is real and honest. This painful story taught me many things about love, trust, and being independent. Now I am ready to look forward. I am building my future on my own terms. It is a fresh start, and I am excited about what comes next.
오늘은 여기까지입니다. 잘 감상하셨습니까? 구독, 좋아요, 완료 댓글을 주시면 더욱 좋은 콘텐츠로 보답하겠습니다. 감사합니다.